Hey everyone, Scott, the Scottman. We're here to do a driving video today. We are continuing our way west on 6 Mile Road. This is a two-part video, and this is the continuation of 6 Mile, which, yeah, it's like in real time. I just finished filming part 1 yesterday, so now it's time to do part 2, even though this is going up, I think, a week later. So this time we're going to be driving on the portion of 6 Mile, which is pretty much outside of the Detroit city limits, with the exception of this very first minute. Because the stretch between Telegraph, where we started this video, and 5 Points Drive right here, this is considered Detroit city limits and still McNichols Road, but... Alright, more about that in a second. But after we cross over 5 Points Drive and enter Redford Township, McNichols now becomes 6 Mile Road, which it'll remain that way the rest of the way. So we're going to be driving to, or so we're going from Telegraph or US Highway 24 all the way to where the main portion of 6 Mile Road ends, about a few miles west of Pontiac Trail out in Northfield Township, not to be confused with Northfield Township. So it'll be in like northern Washtenaw County. There's going to be a small stretch of 6 Mile that's over near US Highway 23. That's like a mile and a half long. We're not going to be covering that portion. There's not really a whole lot over there other than the exit for 23. So, but anyway, yeah, right now we are in Redford Township, and which, yeah, it's like overall, it's like, at least the northern part of Redford Township is about a mile and a half wide. So it's almost like a big strip that runs between the west side of Detroit and Livonia. Would you have, matter of fact, not the light previously, but the one before that, we crossed over Beach Daily. What's nice is that 6 Mile is 4 lanes here, where I think it's only 2 up on 7 Mile. I think it's about to turn green, so I'm going to keep it going. Yep, that's what I thought. But yeah, compared to when I was filming part 1 yesterday, it is a lot nicer out today. It's a little colder though today, but not by much. My car thermometer is reading 43 degrees Fahrenheit, and Celsius is around 6 degrees, and it's a little breezy out today, but at least the sun is out. So that is always a good thing. And with everything coming into bloom, it's going to be a lot prettier of a drive today with the sunshine. And I think it's about to turn green once again, but we got, oh, never mind. Yep, good timing. So we're just crossing over Inkster Road, and we are now entering Livonia. And as I was saying in my 7 Mile video, or 7 Mile Road video, this is one of the larger suburbs of Detroit in terms of like population, even like area size. It's up there with like Warren, Sterling Heights, Westland, Dearborn Heights. It's like, oh, I get about that in a second. Yeah, got a large Jewish cemetery off to the right there. I think there are 2 of them because they have different names. I already forgot what I was trying to say just a little bit ago. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's like I can't believe we're getting into the last third of April. Like, this month has gone by pretty quickly, and other than my trip to Athens, Ohio, and then also the little day trip I did down to Bowling Green, Ohio, it's not on YouTube or anything. I went down for the solar eclipse, which was pretty cool. crossing over Middle Belt Road now and got some slower traffic in the right lane, so we'll go ahead and merge over, which, to be honest with you, is kind of appropriate because usually the slower traffic typically is supposed to drive on the right side of the road anyway. Although it's more of a thing on the freeways than anything else. Like on some of these suburban roads like this, it's not really, it's more of like a courtesy than like a law, or I know what I mean. But on some of the freeways where it's like 2 lanes, yeah, it's actually a law in Michigan where, because there's always signs saying keep right except to pass, or slower traffic use right lane, things like that. It's pretty much the case with many U.S. states. It's not just Michigan. And we're approaching the light for Merriman Road, which, yeah, Merriman Road, if you take that all the way south, that'll end up at Detroit Metro Airport. And of course, go north on Merriman, it turns into Orchard Lake Road once you cross over 8 Mile in Oakland County, heading up toward Farmington. And technically, at Merriman Road, when it turns to Orchard Lake Road up in Oakland County, it also continues its way up toward Kego Harbor, Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, and then it ends up into downtown Pontiac. Yeah, so far here in Livonia along 6 Mile, it's been primarily residential, serving all the different neighborhoods along in here. Although on the right we have a really nice park. This is Rotary Park. It's a very nice park here in Livonia, over here at the corner of 6 Mile and Hubbard. And of course we got another traffic light, but this is a trend though in this video. It's like just as we're about to stop, the light turns green. It's like at least the third time it's happened in this video. Which could be worse. We'd be having to set these traffic lights a lot longer. Kind of like the bad luck I had when I was filming the McNichols portion of 6 Mile yesterday for part 1. Yeah, here in Livonia, kind of like 7 Mile, 6 Mile is a pretty busy road too. Got a couple small businesses in here, even like a Papa John's, a Walgreens, and a couple gas stations over here, and I'm gonna have to stop. So yeah, this is Farmington Road. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I didn't feel comfortable going through the yellow light there because at my luck it probably would have turned red as I was going through the intersection. So it's like, yeah, I better stop. Of course, now it's like, now watch I catch all the traffic lights now, because I'm even catching this one for a subdivision street. Although I think this is where Stevenson High School is for Livonia schools. Yep, Stevenson Spartans. It's like, I don't know, I feel like the traffic light shouldn't even be active on a Sunday morning, but I don't work for the city of Livonia though. But yeah, so yeah, Stevenson High School is just off to the right there. And we get back to some really nice residential neighborhoods on both sides of the road. Yeah, Livonia is quite a nice community, I have to say. A lot of nice homes all around. And this traffic light here, this is Wayne Road, which here in northern Livonia, Wayne Road is just a residential road. I'm gonna go ahead and get back over to the right lane. So I think there's a police officer who wants to get by me. Yep, because he's going faster than me right now, so it's like, yeah, better give the right away. Yep, police officer for the city of Livonia. And coming up here in like less than a mile, we're going to be getting to a little bit of a busier area on 6 Mile. Probably the busiest portion of 6 Mile, which we'll be driving in this video and even the previous one too. So we got a big shopping area coming up ahead. So we got Bush's Grocery on the left. There's a Big Boy. There's a really good Mediterranean restaurant off to the left there too. It has some really good food. I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's in that plaza over there. And this is Newburgh Road, and you're not gonna really be able to see it, but on the right, that is Laurel Park Place Mall. It is the only indoor shopping mall remaining in Livonia, because Livonia Mall closed over about a decade and a half ago, and that one is still open. There's a lot of stores inside and a couple of big anchors. However, it's like, yeah, like the food courts, hardly anything is left there, and a lot of stores have closed down in there. So a lot has closed down in there, unfortunately. Kind of like Lakeside Mall up in Sterling Heights. And right here, this is the interchange for I-275 and I-96. Unfortunately, we're going to be catching this light here. I'm going to get back over to the left lane now, because the right lane's going to be ending in a little while. And then even on this side of the freeway, this could be a very busy area too. Almost in a way even busier. Got a Buca di Beppo Italian restaurant there. Got some hotels off to the right. 3 Marriott branded hotels: Residence Inn, Town Place Suites, and Fairfield Inn. And then here's Haggerty Road, and we got another traffic light we have to stop at here. And as we cross over Haggerty Road, we are now entering Northville Township. And there's another shopping center off to the right. There's also a Bank of America and McDonald's on the left. But on the right, you got a big shopping area. You got a Barnes & Noble. I know there's an REI over there. I think there's some other stores too. I'm not exactly sure exactly what, but anytime I've gone to REI, it's like I've been to that one here in Livonia, and I've also been to one over in Troy, Michigan too. And once you get past there, then we're getting back into more residential areas. And yep, Northville is a very nice area. We're not going to be going through the city of Northville itself. We're going to be staying about a mile and a half south of it. Is you have Northfield Township and then Northville, the actual city. And yeah, along in here, it's like all the homes in here are pretty expensive, because they're a lot bigger than a lot of the ones I was seeing back over in Livonia. And you got a nice church off to the left, Northfield Christian. And what's pretty cool is that around the holidays, in the back of the church, they put on a Christmas light show. Whereas one of those Christmas light displays where it's like you turn on the radio to a particular FM station and they have lights synced up with the music to Christmas songs. So yeah, I know Northfield Christian does that every December. Although it's kind of funny how I'm talking about Christmas and it's only April. So I feel like we should probably switch the subject because it's like, yeah, we're still in spring right now. Let's not think about Christmas just yet. And I just talked about it again. So let's change the subjects, shall we? So as we start getting into Northville, the terrain gets to be a little bit more hilly. Which is pretty common, like, as you get further away from, like, from Detroit and, like, the Detroit River, Lake St. Clair, and, like, the Great Lakes. approaching Northville Road, which Northfield Road going north eventually curves its way into downtown Northville. And over here, this is the part of the Hines Drive Park system. So you got part of the Rouge River here. I think the lower Rouge River, if I'm not mistaken. And then we're going right over Hines Drive here. So 6 Mile does not have an intersection with Hines Drive. There are ways near here to where you can get onto Hines Drive though, so no worries there. Hines Drive officially begins a mile to the north up at 7 Mile. Good time, the light just turned green. And this is Sheldon Road. Sheldon Road going north will take you up into downtown Northville. You got a lot of slow-moving traffic up ahead. And then Sheldon Road going south will take you down toward like the western end of Plymouth, and then Plymouth Township. And it continues its way down to Canton Township. Yep, with the spring bloom though, yeah, even some of the larger trees are starting to grow some buds, which is really nice to see. We've got a very nice park off to the left. That's Millennium Park. And to our right, that is Northville High School. That high school looks gigantic, I have to say. And then off to the right, that's the football stadium. Although, like, looking at the bleachers, it's not all that big, especially compared to the high school I went to. Even with these temperatures, people are out going for a little run right now. But the sun's out, so I can't blame it. But it's like if you're running outside, even if it's a little chilly out, you'll warm up eventually. And here is the traffic light for Beck Road. And yeah, this time we will be stopping at this one, and for quite a bit of time, I would say. Because Beck Road is a pretty busy road. Yep, so we'll continue our way further west, and it's like we're gonna be starting to get out into the country a little bit. But right now we're still like in the western part of Northville, where we still got a whole bunch of big homes. After a while, though, this is going to just become a country road. But it's like once we get west of Beck Road, this is a much, or this, oh wow, I can't even get around at all. People, someone's making a left turn, someone's making a right turn. So it's like, I don't know, almost like pick your poison, I guess. But yeah, 6 Mile compared to 7 Mile. Once you get west of Beck Road, this road is less busy compared to 7 Mile. And this is Ridge Road here, which is another north and south road, obviously, but it's not as busy as Beck Road. school off to the left there. And these are probably the last of the residential neighborhoods that we're probably going to be seeing, at least these big subdivisions. Because you got one on the left and the right, and coming up ahead, you have 6 Mile Road is going to briefly become an unpaved road before it turns back to pavement again. As we're really now getting out in the country, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of dust coming. Ooh, big time bumps. So I got to get around those big bumps there. So yeah, this road is pretty much unpaved for like the next half mile, which I have no idea why Wayne County has not paved this yet. Unless they're like, well, you can just take 7 Mile. And then coming up to our left, we got a huge landfill. It's like technically it's to the southwest of the upcoming intersection with 6 Mile and Napier. Yep. Yes, once we get to the stop sign here for Napier, it's like, I think the road is going to be paved once again. And again, Napier Road is even paved a little for a ways going south. And yeah, so now we're entering Washtenaw County, and this is now Salem Township. And yeah, that landfill is huge. It's like, yeah, you can see it off to the left there. Like, I was even seeing it from when I was doing the 7 Mile Road video last weekend, coming out in the Salem Township. What is interesting though is that I do not see the center lane markers on this road. All right, now I'm starting to see them a little bit. Smelling it too much, so can't complain. Although it's like it does not look appealing though. Okay, so it looks like the pavement's becoming a little bit nicer over here though. So now we're about to come into the village of Salem, Michigan. Yeah, we'll be entering once we cross over these railroad tracks. Okay, the crossing doesn't look too bad, so that's good. And this is the small village of Salem. Yeah, not really a whole lot to it. Nice charm to it, though. Little general store off to the right there. Nice church there. But yeah, it's a pretty small village, like not really a whole lot to it. And then now for the rest of this video, we're going to be doing what I would like to say country driving, because this is pretty much what we're going to be seeing the rest of the way. And yep, here is Curry Road, which Curry Road is paved going to the right but not to the left. It's one of the roads which you can take to go from like Lyon Township up to the north, which is like near South Lyon. And it's one of the roads which you can take to wind your way over toward the Ann Arbor Ypsilanti area. So all you do is at that intersection, you turn on a 6 Mile to go this way, and then maybe like another mile, or maybe a little bit less, you turn on to Curtis Road, and that'll get you down to the area by like M14. filming the 7 Mile Road portion of the 7 Mile video out here, I remember going by a lot of farms with a lot of horses, like some different stables. I'll be curious if we see the same on 6 Mile or not. So up here is Curtis Road, which I was telling you about just a little bit ago. And then this intersection here, this is Angle Road. If you make a right turn, that'll take you up to 7 Mile. So if you're trying to go over to the 23, you're going to want to make a right turn there to go onto Angle Road and to get you up to 7 Mile. 7 Mile does not have a direct connection to 23, but you can wind your way around Whitmore Lake at where 7 Mile ends, and then you can get over to the freeway. Because 6 Mile Road, even though there is an exit for 6 Mile Road at 23, it's for a small little mile, about a mile long portion, which the main stretch of 6 Mile Road does not connect to. You'll see what I mean when we get to the very end. However, there is an alternative route to get to 23 as well. Like, you can stay in this all the way to Pontiac Trail, and then you can go down a couple miles to North Territorial, and then you can get over to 23 that way. So that is another way you can go. It's more practical, let's say, if you're going down to Ann Arbor. If you're going north up into Livingston County, you probably would have wanted to have taken Angle Road to 7 Mile. So far, I'm not seeing all the horses like I did on 7 Mile. But yeah, it is a nice day though to do like these country drives though. Even though, of course, I start out the video in the Detroit city limits, but. So this stop sign coming up ahead, this is Pontiac Trail, which Pontiac Trail South goes down toward Ann Arbor, well, downtown Ann Arbor, well, just about, like getting close over to where the U of M hospital is. Pontiac Trail North heads up to South Lyon, and unlike the intersection with 7 Mile, which is a roundabout, this is just a stop sign, and Pontiac Trail does not have to stop, so we're going to have to wait for a couple cars to come on through. Okay, didn't have to wait too long. And for the rest of 6 Mile, this becomes an unpaved road. So we're going to be on pretty much dirt roads the rest of the way. Which thankfully hasn't rained in a few days, so I shouldn't have to worry about getting mud on my car, thankfully. Which is good because I just had this car washed yesterday when I had my oil change. Before I did the 2 drive videos I filmed yesterday, they gave my car a free wash, which was nice of them. That's kind of the nice thing about getting your oil change and like your maintenance check at the dealership is that they tend to wash your car for you, like complimentary, which I say it's the least that they can do since I have to pay a lot of money for an oil change, tire rotation, all that happy stuff. So to stay on 6 Mile, we have to make a right curve here. Because, yeah, this is Dixboro Road, which is also a country road over here. Not a lot going on over here. But once you get down to Pontiac Trail to the south of here, Dixboro Road becomes a much busier paved road. And then it goes all the way to, like, the border of Ypsilanti and Ann Arbor. Crossing over Dixboro Road, we are now in Northfield Township, not to be confused with Northville Township, where we were earlier in this video. But yeah, this was pretty much just residential, like very residential. It doesn't really lead to anything. serving residential areas, and then you can also get onto the road which takes you up to the Whitmore Lake. So that's pretty much about it. So we're not really seeing a whole lot on that stretch. It's kind of like the same thing with that one stretch of McNichols Road, which I did not cover in part 1. That's on the other side of the Coleman Young Airport. And then off camera, what I'll probably do is I'll just work my way back up to 7 Mile to get back over to 23. But a nice on this part of 6 Mile, hardly any traffic. Yeah, it is interesting how these different mile roads can go from being a very busy road, like in the Metro Detroit area, and turn into country roads like this. Like even the famous 8 Mile turns into an unpaved road, or unpaved country road. Alright, so we're approaching Spencer Road, and this is where 6 Mile Road officially ends, with the exception of the one part I'm not covering, the far western part over by 23. But I hope you enjoy this video here on 6 Mile Road, going west from Telegraph Road in the Detroit city limits, all the way to Spencer Road here in Northfield Township. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so that way we don't miss out on any future adventures. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scottman, signing out.